We are Nick and Hayley, and we recently quit our jobs to travel full-time. This week, we headed off to the Phi Phi Islands, so we caught a speedboat from Phuket for about an hour until we reached our destination. The Phi Phi Islands do not have any cars or bikes, so we walked with our luggage through the beautiful winding streets until we reached our hotel. Of course, our first stop was to the beach to soak in the amazing views. The shallow water was crystal clear, and this was definitely one of the nicest beaches we have encountered in Southeast Asia so far. The next day, we had booked a private boat to go do some exploring around the islands at our own pace.
Come on, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother.
We just rented a boat for 4 hours, so we're headed off to Maya Bay right now, which is where they filmed the beach. Yeah, between our cab trailers, so excited.
We headed off to the nearby island of kohphiphi, and during our journey we passed amazing cliffs and caves jutting out from the ocean.
Our first destination was Maya Bay, which was made famous by the movie The Beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Our guide first brought us into the bay to see the beach from the ocean, and you immediately understand why the place is so famous. The whole island is basically a wall of impenetrable, sheer cliffs, and suddenly there's a small opening into this beautiful bay. Now that Maya Bay is protected, we were not allowed to drive all the way onto the beach, so we went around to the other side of the island to access the beach on foot. Docked at a floating pontoon before climbing some stairs to a tiny gap in the cliff walls and descending down onto the island. Walking through the island is incredible. The cliffs loom over you on all sides while the palm trees create a roof over your head, and you can hear the sound of the waves breaking somewhere through all the trees. We followed the path, and after a short walk it opened up onto the beach, and the view is spectacular. Massive limestone walls almost completely encircle the bay, and palm trees jut out over the white sand with crystal clear turquoise water lapping at the shore. It really was one of the most beautiful places we've ever been. Unfortunately, this does make it extremely popular. We arrived at 8 in the morning and there was already a couple of hundred people there, although there was enough room for this not to feel crowded. If you plan on visiting, we definitely recommend getting a private longboat and getting there as early as possible.
Afterwards, our driver took us to the nearby Palais Lagoon. The water was the most amazing shade of turquoise, so of course we jumped in for a swim. We wanted to go for a snorkel, but the bay didn't have any fish or reefs, so our guide took us just outside the lagoon where fish were abundant. We did a quick drive-by of the Viking Cave and headed to our next snorkel spot, where we saw many clownfish and spotted some divers swimming below us. Nick and I were getting stung by a lot of jellyfish, so we decided to move on to our next location, Shark Bay. We searched high and low for sharks, and we saw one in the distance, but it was swimming away from us, so we weren't able to film it. Nick and I did see multiple eels, which was quite exciting for us as we had never seen one before. At the end of our trip, we wanted to catch a sunset from one of the viewpoints, so we climbed to the lookout to enjoy the sunset over the beautiful island. From up here, it is very easy to see why kohphiphi is on everybody's Thailand itinerary. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see our upcoming videos.